To demonstrate that it enjoys the confidence of the House of Commons. The Liberal Party, my party, is united in its efforts designed to put the interests of Canadians and Canada first. We will work unstintingly to put forward the economic plan that Canada needs and to implement it for the good of all Canadians in our great country. Thank you.
We stand today at a crossroads in our collective history. Canada must have a strong and effective and responsible government, one that holds the confidence of Parliament. And today we do not. We have a government that refuses to act when our economy and the people that it serves are in need of action by our government, perhaps at more now than at any time in a generation. It has failed to act, and it falls on us to act. The New Democrats and the Liberal Party, with the support of the Bloc Québécois, have chosen a path to stimulate the economy in a stable and a responsible government. We have not made these choices lightly. Our decision was made in the full seriousness and clear knowledge of what is at stake. We will take the prudent and responsible and effective steps that are necessary to meet the economic and fiscal challenges that we face. Prime Minister, your government has lost the confidence of the House, and it is going to be defeated at the earliest opportunity in the House of Commons.
In times of economic crisis in a minority parliament, there has to be a display of openness and agree to make compromises. With his economic statement, Stephen Harper did exactly the opposite. The Conservative government counted on ideology and extreme partisanship without taking into account Quebec or people or the economic situation. Since Friday, Conservatives have given in on a few points, but nothing can restore the confidence that Stephen Harper has violated. Given we chose, for the time being, to give priority to the economic situation and to the assistance we must provide to people. We therefore entered into an agreement that is in the best interest of Quebec, of Quebecers, during this time of economic difficulties. Thank you.
When will you present the details of your stimulus package, and how much will it cost?
I cannot give you an exact date because I don't know what will be the first day of this government. What I want to tell you, though, is that we will act more promptly than Mr. Harper in a much more efficient way for the economy, our workers and their families.
It's not as though we've just begun thinking about the difficulties facing our economy in the last weekend. In fact, we've been presenting ideas to the government in a very open and public way about what we believe ought to be done. And we believe that there are steps that can be taken very rapidly, bold steps, as we've spoken about in all of our discussions about the inadequacies of the economic statement and the alternative.
Are you absolutely committed to resigning in May, or is there a possibility that even after you resign you might be a candidate, or is there any possibility you could be a candidate for the leadership yourself? Also, a part of this, my understanding is that there are cabinet positions for each of the leadership candidates, if you could.
I didn't know.
Cabinet positions for each of the leadership candidates is something that I've heard. So.
Okay. First point is that I have a strong, united Liberal Party backing my leadership in the caucus and in the party, because we know what we are facing, economic storm, and we need a strong, united Liberal Party more than ever. And you have the commitment of all the caucus members today that it has been a great moment for all of us to show how much we'll have a strong solidarity to help Canadians in these tough times. My commitment is to give May 2nd to my successor a strong government with a stronger Canada, able to face the storm. And it's what I will do. I'm honored to do that. It's a great privilege that I will receive, and I will work day and night for that. And May 2nd, my successor, I think, will be proud of what we will have been able to achieve. Will they be part of the cabinet? I just want to say that I will select from these two caucuses the best talents and skills, regardless of the leadership race. But you know as much as me how much I have admiration for my three colleagues that are running in this race.
Can you today tell Canadians that you will not be introducing or putting in place a carbon tax on carbon?
Thank you to remind me that. Yes, I know that pretty well, and I want to say to my fellow citizens that it's not part of the agreement. What is part of the agreement, though, is something that Mr. Layton, Mr. Duceppe, and me fully agree, that we need an effective cap-and-trade system in Canada. We need it as soon as possible with absolute target, and to work with President-elect Obama as soon as possible, hopefully to have a North American system that will be good for the environment and good for the economy.
How do the three of you gentlemen justify the moral authority to take down a government based on its economic record?
You know, I believe that there are very few Canadians across this country who accept the proposition that all is well and we have nothing to worry about. I haven't met them. The people I'm meeting are extremely worried. Thousands of them have actually lost their jobs. Thousands of them are worried about their pensions. People are seeing value disappear from their homes. The people that I talk to are extremely worried.
As you know, the parliamentary budget officers forecasting are not rosy. The forecasting of the private sector economists are not very good for Canada. Of the OECD is not very good for Canada. We all know that. We know that the prediction about the unemployment rate are worrying. Mr. Harper said during the campaign, well, if we were to be in a recession, it would have happened already. He said it's time to buy in the market. He said that the deficit would be ridiculous. He said a lot of things that dismiss him as a competent prime minister. No, we know times are tough. This agreement is all about the economy. It's all about the economy. It's why we are together, to fight this economic crisis. We are committed to do so, and beyond our partisan differences, we'll do it because we want to help our fellow citizens.
How are we going to be able to work together, and particularly to Mr. Dion, to Mr. Duceppe, because we know your history. You guys fought against each other in a very tough unity battle in the 1990s.
It's certainly true that Mr. Duceppe and I have a deep disagreement about what we Quebecers should do. He thinks that he would be happier if he was not a Canadian. I think that to be a Quebecer and a Canadian is one of the best opportunities life gave to me. I'm ready to fight to give this, to keep it. And I will use all the democratic tools I have for that. We are in Canada. I'm pleased by that, he's not. But since we're in Canada, what do we do for fellow citizens? And we have agreed to do something in these tough times, to do it as Democrats. I trust him, we'll work with him for that. And for the rest, we'll continue to have a respectful democratic disagreement.
I think a lot of people in Canada have been looking for politics to be done a little differently. Well, I think it would be fair to say that what you're seeing here today is politics done a little differently. It's actually done with the notion that people who've had differences of opinion, sometimes quite profound, might be able to find issues and avenues and strategies and ways forward together in difficult circumstances. And to me, this is an expression of enormous optimism. And I think that the other reflection I would add is that had we a system of some sort of proportional representation in Canada, this is exactly the sort of discussion that would be taking place following every election, most likely. People would be sitting down with their diversities of views in their seats in a house, and they'd be working out how we're going to work together on behalf of Canadians. I think it's likely to produce very good government.